school community. Community is one of our subjects in Craftsbury Elementary School. We are interviewing about community because we think community is important. We think community is important because if there was no community, everybody would be fighting. Here is Abe interviewing Miss Mason. Thank you. Why is building community important?
I think building community is one of the most important things we do. When we build community, everyone's valuable, everybody's important, everybody's heard, and we're all working together. And I think when we work together, we're stronger and we can get things done.
What can students do to build community?
Well, I think Craftsbury students are really good at building community. They share, they care about each other, they help each other, they listen to each other, and I think all those things make a strong community.
Thank you for coming today.
Well, thank you for inviting me today.
Let's get on to the question. Why is building community important?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think building community is important because you want to have a sense of togetherness and a sense of safety. And if you have that sense of togetherness and safety, it makes you feel more calm and confident in your ability to take risks and challenges in your learning. But if you're always afraid of what other people might think because you didn't have a very strong community feeling, people might be more uncomfortable with taking those risks.
Why is building community important to you?
Building community. I think that because it takes a whole village to raise all you children. So it's important to build your relationships with the community so that everybody's kind of looking out for you.
That is really nice.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Let's get on with the questions. Why is building community important?
So I think it's really important that we build community, especially within our school, because we want everyone to feel welcome and feel safe here in our school. And so if everyone feels welcome and they know that they're part of our school and they feel important about that, I think it's just one of the things that makes a nice feeling environment for everyone to come to school.
Thanks for having me.
Why is building community important?
First of all, I'm glad you're focusing on community because I think it is important. I think it's one of the most important things for all of us. I mean, nobody wants to live alone, right? It's kind of lonely. So just learning how to get along with other people, learning how to work with other people, play with other people, I think is just so important. And if we can learn that skill when we're young, then that's going to help us later on when we go to college or we get our job, because then we're going to be able to work with people and get along with people, because every place where there's more than one person is a community, right? Like your family is a community, your school is a community, Craftsbury town is a community, so it's just so important that everybody gets along.
Thank you for coming here today, Ms. Bob.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, we're going to ask you some questions.
All right.
Why is building community important?
Building community is very important to the town, the school, everything around, because we didn't have a good community, people wouldn't feel comfortable. Like I feel very comfortable coming to work, being around everybody. Everybody's very friendly, very loving, and that's very important.
Very interesting. I haven't heard an explanation like that before. How do you help our school community?
I work here, and I've been here for almost 19 years, and I really love every student I've ever worked with, and it's just a very, very warm, comfortable place to work.
Well, what is coming today?
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So on with the questions.
All right, let's do it.
Why is building community important?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, without totally being cliched, y'all are the future of our town, and so we want to make sure, at least in my mind, that you appreciate what it is that I like about Craftsbury, and so I like to come and share that with you, so that you come to grow up in the values that we have in our town.
How do you help our school community?
very literally, I come in and teach y'all about bikes, but I think in a larger sense, hopefully I'm teaching you about resilience and confidence and trying to do things and getting out of your comfort zone.
How do you help our school community?
Oh my gosh, love these questions. I help our school community by making sure everyone stays healthy and safe, all the students and the teachers.
What can students do to build community?
Students can build community by being nice to each other and respectful to each other and building friendships with each other to create a caring community.
To be a part of a larger community that you can depend on.
How do you help our school community?
Well, my position here is teaching reading and literacy, reading and writing. So I really believe that writing is a form of communication that builds community more than anything in the world right now, especially with our big internet system. And I try to help here building the confident reader, and improving skills builds our confidence, and also reading opens our eyes, I think, to many, many things in the world. Would you say so? Yeah, and I just also love being out at recess with the students, and it really makes me feel like I'm part of a community, that I have an important job here.
What do you like doing, even when it's hard? I was wondering.
Well, I love my work, even when it's hard. One of the best things for me, I think, is I get kids when they first come to school, and I get to watch them really grow and blossom, and it's really rewarding to see that. And I also work with some amazing people, which support me as well, so I've got all that going on, so it's good.
This is the last question for the day.
Okay.
How can you tell when the school community is strong?
Okay, well, I see people collaborating, I see people working together, I see people working as a team. And I think one of the most important things is just people listening to each other, and really listening, not just, pretending to listen, but trying to hear what the other person's point of view is. I think that's a super important thing that makes us strong. So.
Well, that was the end. Thank you for coming here
Well,
today.
thank you.
Why do you like your work even when it's hard?
Probably because I get to see you guys. When I come in here and I see your guys' smiles, that makes me smile and make me feel good, because a lot of times I'm doing the things where I'm not smiling, or sometimes I'm dealing with people that aren't all that happy. So when I get to come in here, it rejuvenates me and gives me energy to keep working hard.
The last and final question. How can you tell when the school community is strong?
Well, I do a couple different ways. One is talking to the teachers. Another one is talking to students, see how they're feeling. I also look at pieces of information, and I use those pieces of information to kind of give me an idea of how successful we're being in building that community. Let's see. So I would say talking to students, talking to the teachers, and looking at those pieces of information that let me know how well we're doing being successful or not.
Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Building community is important because when there's a community, everyone does their best to feel a part of it. And like Anna said, I think it was, when there's community, it doesn't lead to things like war or just like bad relationships. It's overall happy.
How do you help our school community in your job?
I help my friends. I help people who I see need help on an everyday basis at the high school. Yeah, I think just like helping people who you see need help is a big one.
What can students do to build community?
Picking up after yourselves if you make a mess, or helping a friend out. Yeah, I think those are big ones.
Why is the school community special to you?
It's special to me because it's small and not a lot of kids get blessed like we do, because when you go to a big school you don't get the chance to know all of your classmates and your teachers on the personal level, whereas throughout kindergarten to high school I'm very close with all of my friends and teachers, and it's really special.
Why do you like your work even when it's hard?
I like my work because I love all the students. They always make me laugh, and I love that. And hard days are good days to learn lessons. You can learn that you can make it through hard things, right? We can all do hard things, so that's a good lesson to learn from hard days. And sometimes if I like make some mistakes or something during a day, then I try not to get down on myself, and I think, well, what can I do different next time to make it a little less hard, or to not make that mistake?
Do you remember any type of a place when that happened?
Oh my gosh, so many times and places. I've made lots of mistakes and had lots of hard days, and specifically, maybe something small like calling somebody by the wrong name, but feeling really bad about it, and so then maybe coming up with good ways to remember people's names after that.
How can you tell when the school community is strong?
Yeah, I love it. How can you tell when the school community is strong? I think when everyone supports each other, and they're kind to each other, and they're respectful to each other, and they have a lot of fun, and they learn and grow together.
Okay, thank you for coming to SGN Second Grade News, and we will see you another time.
Awesome, thank you.
Why is the school community important? Why is the school community special to you?
Why is the school? It's special to me because I think it's really important that everyone feels like they belong and they have a place where they're heard and they're safe, and I definitely think this school community does that.
What do you like? Why do you like your work even when it's hard?
Why do I like? It's a good question. I like my work even when it's hard because I'm so thankful to be here. So even on the worst days, I'm just very thankful that I'm here with you.
This is the last and final question.
Okay.
How can you tell when the school community is strong?
I think people are happy, and I think they're willing to be team members and step in for each other, and they communicate well. I think that's how you would know.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Why do you like your work even when it's hard?
Oh, okay. So I like things that are challenging. So it might feel hard sometimes, but it's just I like those challenges, and I really like to solve problems. I used to be a police officer. In that job, I was solving problems a lot as well. That was a big part of my job, was to figure things out. I'm a really curious person and like to find ways to fix things, and whether that's fixing situations between people or even fixing things here at the building. I kind of like those challenges.
How can you tell when the school community is strong?
We tell when it's strong. I think it's when you can come into a classroom, or you can go out on the playground and you can see how people are treating each other, and that people are treating each other really well and kindly, and they're helping each other out. And a lot of times if they're not being asked to be helped, they just are doing it on their own, then I think that's showing that the community is really strong in that school.
Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Why do you like your work even when it's hard?
Well, I like my work because it's different. Every day is something new and different, and I love talking with students. Like this conversation right now, it makes my heart feel good. And so working with kids and community members just feels right for me, so.
This is the last and final question.
Okay.
How can you tell when the school community is strong?
I feel like when a school community is strong, then students have smiles, they're happy, and when they're not, they can let us know and they can talk with us and they feel safe enough to share when things aren't good and when things are good. And I like it when all voices are heard, not just a few voices, but all voices. So if everyone can feel that way, safe enough to share the good and the bad, I think that's a strong community.
Thank you for coming to SGN second grade news.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's get on to the question. Why is building community important?
It's important because it builds a sense of unity and allows everyone to stay together, along with just building like new inventions to say for the community, just new ways to, I guess, stay together, I guess.
How do you help our school community in your job?
Well, I really like fundraising, bringing people together, not only to make money, but also to just have some great memories, some great experiences, and also just have a great outcome at the end of it.
What can students do to build community?
You can just come to our events, you can make your own events, you can tell your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, uncles, older siblings about stuff that's coming and going around in Craftsbury, anything like that.
Why is the school community special to you?
Because it's small and everyone knows each other, like you know everyone in your classroom. Other schools don't really have that nowadays, and I think that's really special of Craftsbury.
I see a lot of people work together and help each other out, and from what I can, from what I've noticed, so that's important.
Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Do you like your work even when it's hard?
Well, I like my work even when it's hard because I feel like it's a privilege to work with you guys, to be part of your lives, because you're really interesting and very cool people. So even when it's hard, on days when I'm not that excited to come to school, I have other people that I look to that help support me and make me feel like I'm part of a community, like Miss Val and Miss Lisa and Miss Marquise. So even when it's hard, I know that I have people here that are going to help me feel good about myself and be stronger.
Last and final question. How can you tell when the school community is strong?
I can tell that the school community is strong when the school sounds and looks like a beehive, with people busily working and helping each other and reading and taking care of each other, and even out in the class, out on the recess when people are playing games, they're connecting, they're laughing, they're smiling, and I know that community is happening.
Thank you for coming to SGN second grade news. Goodbye, have a great day.
Thank you, Wyatt.
What can students do to build community?
I would say a really important thing you can do is always be looking out for somebody who might be having a hard time. You know, there's usually somebody who maybe is feeling left out, or maybe is new, hasn't been around as long, doesn't have as many friends. And that's just that's just life in general. You know, everywhere you are, there's always somebody who's not feeling as much as part of something as other people. And so if you actually develop the skills to look out for that person and then reach out to them, that can be super powerful in building a sense of community, I think. And it feels good too to be the person who does that and reaches out like that.
Why is the school community special to you?
Well, I think we all know we're special here because we're small, and it's a tight-knit place, and everybody gets to know each other really well. And aren't you guys like a big class for this? You have 17 kids, and you're like one of the biggest classes you've had in a long time. So it's like, I think that's pretty unusual when you go out in the world and you go to. When I went to elementary school, there were 4 different schools in my town, and each school had a bunch of different classes for each grade. So there were probably like 15 second grade classes in my town. So that was a lot different than this.
Why is the school community special to you?
Well, first of all, school community is special to me because when I was young, like your age, which was a long time ago, by the way, it helped. School always helped me because I didn't have a dad in the house. It was just my mom and I, so I was a single parent, and I didn't have any brothers or sisters at home. So I was all by myself. So guess where I found my community? I found my community when I went to school, right? And so when I was in school, right from the time I was in kindergarten, they didn't have preschool back then, but right from the time I got into kindergarten, I realized, hey, here's a chance to build friendships, to learn how to get along with boys and girls, to figure out, there were some games that I got taught that I didn't even know existed. And luckily I had good teachers in elementary school, so they helped to build community, but it was really important to me because school was my community. I didn't have a big community at home. I was actually pretty lonely till I got to school.
How do you like your work, even when it's hard?
How do I like my work even when it's hard? Yeah. I do love my work, and you know why I love my work? Because I do get to talk to a lot of different kinds of people. Like I just left a meeting with 2 adults. I got a meeting later on with all the basketball coaches in the elementary district. And now I'm getting to meet with you and to answer your questions. So I think what's exciting about me, because I'm kind of a people person, maybe that's because I was an only child and I'm always looking to build relationships, finding people and talking to people and getting to know people and learn who they are and what's important to them. I really like that. In this job, I meet a lot of people every single day, and that's what I really love about it.
Why is the school community special to you?
Special to me because I grew up here, and I chose to have my kids grow up here, and that's a very important thing to have.
Why do you like your work even when it's hard?
Being on the school board is very rewarding. Being able to have an idea and work hard at it and then have it come to fruition and people use it, it's a great feeling.
How can you tell when the school community is strong?
When there's lots of involvement from all ages.
Thank you for being here on SGN 2nd Grade News.
Thank you for having me too.
The 2nd grade class is proud to share building community with you. Lawrence, can you tell our audience a bit about how we created this program? Well, first we thought of people we were going to interview. Then we thought of questions by making groups of 2 kids. And then each group thought of 5 questions, and then we picked 6 of all those questions that were the best questions, and those were the questions we used. So after that, we wrote letters to the people we were going to interview. And then we made SDN 2nd Grade News, the name, and then we made a poster, And then we started interviewing. Interesting. Audrey, what were some of the words that people said a lot?
The words what people had said a lot is like kindness is very important.
Lawrence, what were some of your takeaways?
Well, this school is very small compared to other schools, and that because of that, the community is very strong.
Audrey, what was your favorite part about making this?
That we made people smile when they walked in, and that they said stories to us at the end when we were all done.
That was all interesting. Thank you, Jack Bassett and John Grenia, for helping us with the technical support. Thank you for watching SGN Second Grade News. Make sure that you watch more from kids like us.
That was excellent.